Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Addiction Solutions with Roselle. I'm your host, Roselle F. White Sr. So glad that you could come back and join us. As I say in the beginning of every show, go tell family, friends, co-workers, church members, neighbors about the show. Now, you do not have to be addicted to drugs and alcohol to have an addiction. So that's where a lot of people get confused because when they hear addiction, they connect it with drugs and alcohol. So that turns them off. So what we're trying to do in this show is just show that addiction covers other areas such as gambling, sex, shopping, overeating, the things that confuse our lives. Now, you have to understand addictions are tied to feelings and emotions. And yes, you could feel good and go to your addiction, or you could feel bad. It doesn't matter. So, now, what I want you to do, as I say in the beginning of every show, go to YouTube, go to the search engine, and type in Addiction Solutions with Roselle. You'll have access to all of our previous episodes, and you can hit that subscribe button and also hit liked if you like the show. So we're going to get into it right now. And so we were in chapter 1 of the 21-point manual. The title was Do Not Use. Sounds simple, but it's not. So we left off, the last sentence was, if the person or the family continues to downsize, there's a problem. And what I mean by that is things that they had before that they were so proud of, now they are continuing to get rid of those things, which means that money has become an issue. All right, so we're going to start off, and I know you always allow me to read from my notes. You know that I cannot memorize all of this, but I do my best. So we're going to start off here. What makes the title of this chapter, Do Not Use, sound simple, it's not, so compelling is many people can get clean and they can stay clean. Many people can stay clean for months, some even years. The big question is why they go back to using. Using is going back to the addiction. The answer I found in many cases is their lives get better and they forget the pain. Yes. The pain they inflicted on themselves and others. A very simple answer is, continuing on, they used because they wanted to. That is a good answer. However, I feel it is too simple for family members and many people who are addicted. The family asks the individual in question, why did you use? Why? You were doing so good. Oh my God, you had got your family back if it went that far. You got your job back if it went that far. You got a home. The answer, because I wanted to. That sounds arrogant, and we know it's arrogant, especially after we've went, to all lengths to help you, and all of a sudden you tell us you used because you wanted to. But unbelievably, that is the answer. The next question should be is why? After all this family has been through, after all you have been through, would you want to go back? Okay, so let's look at that part. Getting high had pleasure in it. Why would I get high for over 30 years if it wasn't some pleasure? I'd say the first 20 years, man, it was pleasure with a capital P. And then it turned into pain. And that also has a capital P. And I mean the pain outweighed the pleasure. Didn't think about it at the beginning. I thought, hey, wow, I'm just going to do one. Okay, the answer is if I could just do one of anything, why would I have the label of addict? People that go through life, they go to parties and they have one drink and they don't even finish it. They have one beer, they don't even finish it. They go into a store to shop, they look for the cheapest bargain. Not that they're cheap, it's just they're looking for bargains. Not the addict, first thing they see, they buy it. Gambling, the people that are not addicted to gambling, they take $20, $40 in, and that's it. They don't take no ATM cards, they don't take no debit cards, credit cards, none of that. Because they know history has shown them that you could be predisposed. Yeah, down in the bloodline, there could have been somebody with this particular addiction. You can go all the way back to the Wild Wild West when they were playing cards and getting killed to now. And it goes further than that, we know. However, what we must decide, how bad do I want it? So, reading a little further. First, let us look at the simple answer, because the person just wanted to use. They had nothing better to do but throw their lives back in the toilet. Relapse is a process. Actually, it is the same process as recovery, only the processes are backwards. Recovery is daily, and you're tempted. It wouldn't be human if you wouldn't be tempted. However, we mentioned the 12-step meetings, sponsorship, consistency with going to meetings, literature. All of these things are tools, and you have to have them in your toolbox. Now, going backwards, we empty the toolbox. So now when we are really faced with the reality that I might use, there's nothing in the toolbox. We don't even have the phone numbers of people that we used to call on a regular basis. So we're out there now. So there's nothing left to do but go back to our addiction. And people that don't use drugs and alcohol, don't get this twisted, because you have a toolbox too. Because something messed your life up too. So don't get all up high and mighty about what you don't do. Consider the fact that something has messed with your life too. So when you go back, it's just as bad, only it's worse. And people don't realize that you don't go back to where you started initially. You go back to where you left off, and then it processes. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I want to see you guys back next week, because we're going to finish chapter 1. I love you. Stay blessed. I'll see you next week.